Hello, I'm Rich Posson for Critical Point. It is Friday, April 11, 10:47 a.m. Eastern Time. In a few minutes, I'll give you some freebie ideas on what's going on with the stock market economy. But I wanted to give you this message. This website that you're currently viewing this video on, that's going away. The Podbean app that you could also get this subscription on, that's going away. They're all going to end before the end of the month. I have a brand new website at criticalpointpod.com, and I have 3 subscriptions available now instead of 1. The first subscription is Stocks Index Magi. That's the stock indexes, gold, oil, Bitcoin, dollar index, bonds, interest rates, and the economy. The second subscription, number 2, is Commodities by Rich. Currently, it's just corn, wheat, soybeans. The third subscription is both of the number 1 and number 2 subscriptions combined. That gets you back to what the subscription had been at this current site, okay? Unlike many that provide market analysis and signals and model stuff, I'm now at 60 days free trial when I had been 2 weeks, and normally 2 weeks is the normal. But now you can also, this is recurring payments and you can cancel anytime. I'm still using the same credit card, people. The videos are going to be hosted by a different video company and will be embedded into this new website at criticalpointpod.com. So go to that new site. Okay, free market update, which I may or may not give you any free market updates going into when I finally cancel the current site you're looking at here. But I want you to be aware of that in December, January, February, I said relative to this model analysis, we had signals to sell out, not only for some of the larger moves during a year, but something that is a sell signal just a few times during a decade, that it was a minor long-term bear market developing. And I gave warnings all the way down. That's what we're in, and the developing of the negativity of what Trump is doing and the Maganomics and the right-wingers and where this country's going, okay? That's worked very, very well for me. I've been out 100% entirely cash, just soaking up interest rates, okay? Now, we probably will look for a buy opportunity maybe around May, June, July. Unfortunately, we may have to start all over again and look for a second buy opportunity around September, October, maybe a little sooner. Therefore, anywhere from May to October, I anticipate a minor long-term bottom, and I do anticipate a higher stock market in 2026 to 2027. But it does not have to be up this year. And I also want to warn you that even normally I would not anticipate more than, say, 36% down. In fact, most of the time, not even more than 20% down. And we have seen more than 20% down. So some people are already shopping, trying to find a reason to buy, but things aren't right. I mean, we have a lot of problems coming down the road yet. So I think we got more lower than this. I think we ought to be down 30 to 35%. That'll clean things out enough that even if we don't fix this tariffs and even if we're in a recession, it is possible the stock market can find a footing and actually work higher before we actually get the good news that the economy is getting better and we fix some things, okay? So this can still be wild and crazy to the downside. A lot of problems and complications can show up for quite some time, all right? Now, I give you signals of 2 of the most important intra-year, like it can be anywhere from just 2 to 3 to maybe 6 buy-sell signals during the year. I give you ideas, not necessarily signals, but I get you close to it for a monthly like buy-sell signal. And then I give you ideas during the week. Is it an up day, down day? Okay. On the other end of the spectrum, I then will give alerts and signals for these minor long-term moves throughout a decade. And I will give a signal that's a once-a-decade buy-sell signal that relates to, the buy signal relates to stock market going up 100 to 400%. It's done that throughout the history of this country as best I can tell. And then we get a once-a-decade sell signal and the stock market goes down minus 20 to minus 50% per decade and can go down more if there's a super cycle. And this time around, we're going to have a minor super cycle that might make it as much as 60% down. I think that's waiting, all that bad stuff is waiting towards the end of this decade. But under Trump, things might get as bad as we're down 60% this year. But I'm guessing no more than, say, 30, 35% down, all right? But so those are the things I can offer you in terms of long-term to very long-term investing. how to have an understanding all the twists and turns along the way when you might not do anything about those twists and turns because you don't like trading, especially short term. But if you do like trading or want to use some of those signals to take a profit along the way, buy it back, want to put in some fresh new money into your long-term scenario, you can use those signals. And if you just simply like trading, those signals, they're going to be there for you. I'll do my best. And the model has learned for many years, and it just gets better and better. But we've also had an easier stock market for many years, and things are going to get difficult here, rough patch for a while. We might even be in a weird time when the stock market is down 75% from now into 2030, down 30% from now to 2028. What that means is there could be some big up moves along the way, lengthy sideways moves, and then you bring it down some as well, okay? So it's all over the map, and the model is picking up on that and give us insight to help. This can also help for business planning, especially when looking at the long-term stuff. Give us ideas of where the economy's going. I look for moments like that once a decade sell signal normally relates to the most important type of recession we can get once a decade when people lose their jobs, lose their businesses, and lose on their investments, okay? And then I do super long-term stuff where I kind of have a roadmap for the next few decades, a very general roadmap. But when a super cycle is very, very close, however, then we can pick up on that and put that to greater use as something more serious here, all right? So I think I've done very well for 40 years of using business cycle type modeling, and then especially from the 2000s to now, it really kicked in when I was able to computerize some things, define some things. And if you're a stock picker, you may say, well, I don't need to know about the stock market. But when you get into major up and down moves in stock market, it can take most of the stocks with it, okay? So you might want to look at that. And not only that, you may want to invest in ETFs, in other words, basket of stocks, or even trade stock indexes. That could be a nice diversification within your basket. Right at the moment, I use leverage ETFs and futures in stock indexes. I don't trade individual stocks, haven't done that in decades, and I'm beating most of the stock pickers because of that. I think I have something simpler and easier to work with. But I also use this just to help for business and overall life. I'm always studying the society and the culture and this and that. So please pass this word, get on board, get over to criticalpointpod.com, get signed up today, because like I say, this site here, I know I have a lot of followers that never speak up or say anything, but it's going away. They're going to have to figure out how to find me. Well, that's why I'm putting this message out. Get switched over and just get on board. After that 60 days, my guess is you're going to want to be with me right to the end of this decade to see how this all works out on this journey for what is really just a chapter within a century of business and generations and culture. All right, have a great weekend. Thank you.